Okay, you're bored and you already finished making your way through all the movies out there. And you're kinda stuck and wondering what movies to watch and asking what's next. Try the international films or movies. International cinema definitely shouldn't be overlooked, and from France to Mexico to Italy, countries around the world continually offer excellent films that any movie lover can enjoy, language barriers notwithstanding. South Korea actually has one of the busiest film industries in the world, and if you're curious about the rest of the nation's offerings, here are the latest movies you shouldn't miss this 2020. 1. Ode to My Father. This is Korea's version of Forrest Gump and is one of the most successful movies the country has ever produced. It follows the life of a boy whose family got separated during the Hungnam evacuation of the Korean War. His father and sister got left behind in the north while he and his mother were able to flee south. The movie depicts the dramatic moments in the country's history from the 1950s to modern times. The boy, as the lead character, experiences these turbulent times as he tries to lift his own family from poverty and at the same time build a family of his own. Language learners will get a rich cultural and historical backdrop in this tearjerker of a film. You'll get to witness the dramatic upheavals Korea experienced in the past decades and will come out with a newfound appreciation for Koreans and their inspiring narrative. 2. Taeguji, The Brotherhood of War. This is the touching story of two brothers when they each get conscripted to fight in the Korean War. Jintae, the older brother, has always looked after his younger sibling Jinsok. When war breaks out, Jintae seeks to protect his brother by striking a deal with his commander that if he earns the highest military honors, his younger brother will be released from military service and sent home. Jintae, without regard for life and limb, joins the most dangerous and suicidal combat missions. Will he win freedom for his brother? Well, why don't you see for yourself? 3. Train to Busan 2. This movie was the certified hit of 2016, and it briefly resurrected the dying zombie apocalypse genre. Sokwoo, a workaholic fund manager played by Gong Yoo, is on a train with his young daughter and headed for Busan, a port city 300 kilometers south of Seoul. The divorced dad is taking the child to see her mom as the kid's birthday gift. Just when the train doors are about to close, a woman with a bite wound steps onto the platform and into the train. She's about to wreak havoc on every passenger inside, and so begins our movie. Train to Busan has all the qualities of a great movie, interesting characters, good build-up and of course, zombies. The movie might be heavy on the gore, but it's actually very light on the language. 4. Miss Granny. Miss Granny is a funny look into what sort of trouble a 70-year-old grandmother could get herself into if she suddenly reverted back to her 20-year-old self. Malsoon is a difficult old widow, living with her son and daughter-in-law. She's a foul-mouthed, controlling mother-in-law constantly getting on the nerves of the couple. One night, after being told that her own son is going to leave her at a nursing home, Malsoon wanders the streets, hurt and dejected. She finds herself in front of a mysterious photo studio that claims to take pictures that make one look young. She goes in to have her photo taken. After that, Malsoon leaves the studio as a fresh 20-year-old. She can't believe it at first, but soon, she resolves to make the most out of her situation. And so the fun begins. 5. Secretly, greatly. 3 men come to live in a peaceful village in South Korea. There's Bang Dong-go, a carefree young man, Lee Hae-rung, an aspiring rock star, who doesn't know how to play the guitar, and Ri Hae-jin, a high school student. But things aren't what they seem. These men are actually highly trained North Korean spies sent to infiltrate the South. They've settled quite nicely in the village, getting to know folks and living a quiet and ordinary existence. In truth, they are eagerly awaiting orders from the top. The long-awaited order comes, but it's an order nobody ever expected. Secretly, Greatly is a comedy drama based on the webtoon, Covertness. The movie broke several box office records when it was released in 2013. The film had the biggest one-day ticket sales and the biggest opening weekend for a Korean movie. It's said that this is because of the strong showing in movie theaters by the nation's teenage demographic. If you want a movie with equal parts comedy, action and drama, and you want to pick up Korean vocabulary on the side, make sure you watch Secretly, Greatly. 6. The Face Reader. Naekyung's talents for reading faces is unrivaled in all the land. He can look at the lines of someone's face and predict their personality, habits and ultimately, their future. Little does he know his odd talent will put him in the center of one of the biggest power struggles in Korean history. Naekyung's ability gets the attention of the king, who wants to use his services to point out the bad eggs in the royal court. When the king suddenly dies, he finds himself in the middle of warring princes who wanted to take the vacant place of king. Where do Naekyung's loyalties lie? Find out in this period film that'll give you a sense of how Korean might have sounded a few hundred years ago. 7. Inside Men. This movie is one of the highest grossing R-rated Korean movies of all time. It's based on a popular webtoon, The Insiders, and tackles themes like political corruption and revenge. An Sang-gu is a political henchman out to seek revenge on Jang Pil-woo, a former ally who suddenly turned against him and tried to liquidate him. Jang is a consummate dirty politician using money, the media and goons to win the presidential race. Meanwhile, Woo Jong-hoon, an ambitious prosecutor, is hell-bent on building a high-profile case and catching a big fish. Each one is motivated by revenge, power and fame. What will the aftermath look like? The film has its grittier moments, but if you're looking for a film to bring you a mix of political, legal and gang jargon, then Inside Men is your ticket to that world. 8. The Admiral, Roaring Currents. This film is another film that is most commercially successful Korean movie of all time, chronicling the nation's celebrated naval victory against the invading Japanese in the Battle of Myeongnyang in 1597. The movie even beat Avatar in ticket sales in Korea. It's the story of 13 ships against the Japanese fleet of more than 300. The small Korean contingent is led by Yi Sun-sun, a most revered naval commander who, through cunning strategy, is often able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. The movie has a 300-ish kind of feel, so if that's what you're into, look no further. If anything, language learners can just watch this for the great movie that it is. The scenes are epic, the battles are big and its star cast, led by the masterful Choi Min-sik as the title Admiral, is worth 127 minutes of your life. 9. I Saw the Devil. I actually just watched this movie recently, and what I can say is a masterpiece in all aspects, featuring sublime direction and script writing, elaborate cinematography and editing, and one of the most shocking endings ever to appear on film. In this film, you'll see Choi Min-sik, the Admiral, in the previous film, and Lee Byung-hun of Inside Men play cat and mouse with each other. Choi Min-sik plays the psychopathic serial killer who coldly murders Byung-hun's fiancée. The latter's character is an agent to Korea's National Intelligence Service (NIS), the country's CIA. Lee Byung-hun decides that vengeance is best served one dish at a time, and so begins this gripping thriller. But as one man tries to exact revenge, his opponent refuses to take things sitting down. And so you have this back-and-forth thriller that makes for a gory Friday night. Thanks to the strong directing, we get a handful of really fantastic scenes and a number of thrills, which make this a wholly enjoyable film. And lastly, 10. Veteran. What happens when an unstoppable police detective crosses paths with an untouchable heir to a business empire? Seo Dashol is a super cop who busts syndicates left and right. Jo Tae-oh is the sadistic heir to the Sunjin Group, a really despicable character who destroys lives for personal entertainment. When one of Dakol's cases leads to Taeo's front door, the two men from opposite sides of the law come into contact. Will the law catch up with money? Or will money, in the end, still prevail? This movie has plenty of witty banter between the two leads. Just one of the many reasons why Veteran is one of the highest-grossing films in Korean history. That wraps up our parade of Korean movies to watch this year. Thanks to many wonderful directors and actors from South Korea, you have a full year of comedy, crime, drama, mystery and adventure ahead of you. So get that popcorn popping and the soda fizzing. It's time to press play. That's it guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get notifications on our latest videos.